Hello everybody, Lizzie and I are here to talk about the foam roller. And as you can tell, mine's a cylinder. It's about 3 feet long and it is fairly dense foam. I mean, I can stick my fingers in it just a little bit. It's not soft, okay? It's pretty firm. And through foam rolling, we can hydrate our connective tissue, which we talked about last week being important. We want it hydrated. We can flush out toxins and loosen up scar tissue and adhesions. Adhesions are in the connective tissue, are those places where, as you might remember from last week, we talked about we want the connective tissue to slide on one another, where an adhesion is where it gets stuck and it won't slide anymore. So we want to get rid of those. And so the end result, we hope, is healthy, malleable tissue. So myofascial release is a big word, and we can break that down into myo, which is muscle, and fascial, which, as you know, is fascia or connective tissue. So muscle and fascial release, and usually done by a physical or massage therapist. But with foam rolling, we can do it ourselves, and then it is called self-myofascial release, or SMR. So this can be done daily to release tight muscles and knots for any reason we have them. If we're exercising, or if we're sitting a lot, if we've been on an airplane, for any reason we feel tight and achy, we can use the foam roller. And we can also use it after injury to release scar tissue that has grown around that area of injury. The goal is to create a smoother, healthier, leaner, more malleable form. When your tissue is shapeable, your fitness goals are easier to attain. I'm going to place that paper aside. Just one caveat with using the foam roller. It is not a comfortable thing to do. The foam roller should be slightly uncomfortable, like a stretch is. If it gets to the point where you really feel pain, you want to back off from that. So let's say I kind of have an area right in the middle of my quadriceps here that causes me some pain. So what I need to do is roll from the top of my thigh down, from my knee up, and kind of work into that area. I've done some rolling on it, and it's getting better, but I can still feel that area. So just when you come to an area like that, don't go right on it. Go around it and work through that area. So we just want to do a little warm-up, just a little movement before we get started with the rolling. So we're going to have our hands on our roller and take our feet wider than hip distance and just move side to side. Nice and easy movement. And also always breathing, not holding our breath, for 4 and 3 and 2. So if you ever need anything for balance, if it's got a flat end, you can always use your foam roller. We're going to take it from the ends, bring our feet in, and lift up and down, and lift up and down, for 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Bring it up to waist height and just side to side. So we're keeping our hips still and moving the upper body. Well, I have an unfortunate thing to tell Miss Lizzie, is that she's going to have to move, which, if you can tell, in the corner of the room she has a nice bed, but for some reason, since I purchased it for her, she refuses to use it. So she likes my mat. Hey, Liz. Come on, girlie. Thank you. All right. It's my mat. Okay. All right. We're going to sit on one end of our roller. And using our hands on the floor, we're going to roll all the way down, making sure our head has room on the roller. We're going to lift our arms straight out and then lift the hands up so the palms are pointing towards your feet. Now, we're going to raise the arms up, and where I got the idea for this exercise from, it's called cactus arms. The girl in the picture can bring her back of her hands all the way to the floor. As you can tell on this one, I cannot do that. So go as far as you can. Let's do 2 more. 2 and 1. All right, so she's obviously got more released fascia than I do in that shoulder area. All right, bring those hands by your side, and we're just going to raise them overhead and down for some snow angels. I'm glad there's not snow on the ground, but 4 more. Lift it up and down for 3 and down. Last one. All right. We're going to do an overhead reach. So one arm is going overhead. The other arm, which is behind me, right here, is pointing down, and we're switching and switch, almost like a march. Switch and switch. And nice steady breath. 4, 4, and switch. 3, and switch. 2, switch. Last time each side. All right. We're going to reach up to the sky. So we've got our elbows with our palms facing in. We're going to reach up and up. Reach up and up. 4, 4, and 3, and 2. Last one. All right, we're going to do some prayer arms. Or they're called prayer angels because we're going to start in a prayer position. We want all of our lower arms together. So from the elbow to the hands, they're together. Now we're going to lift up, separate those elbows, and then angel circle those arms down. Bring them up, overhead. You can touch your fingertips to the floor, that's fine, and bring it down. Bring it in, overhead. Bring them in, overhead. Let's do 4, and up, and circle, and 3, and up, and circle, and 2, and up, circle it around, and last one, and up, and circle. Well, if you're like me, I asked for a foam roller several years ago from my in-laws for Christmas, and I got it, and I started using it, and then I put it in my closet and stopped using it. Okay, your hands are up. Now open them, and we're just going to do a chest release. So wanting to do this class and learn more about this SMR, this self-myofascial release, got me to get the foam roller back out, and now I'm really interested in learning more about releasing, because there are definitely parts of my body that are less flexible than others, not equally flexible. So I will never be doing the splits, but I think that I can use the foam roller. All right, we're going to come off the foam roller, so just kind of sliding off behind. I think we can use the foam roller to assist with our stretching, and then hopefully help make us more flexible. And as I mentioned in the beginning of class, just help us to move more easily. All right, so we want to place this at the base of our skull. I mean, the neck is going to has that natural curvature, so that should work pretty well. And you want to hold the ends just so it doesn't move. And you're going to look just side to side. You're just going to nod your head side to side. And just get a little release in that neck. Remember, I said this wasn't going to feel all that great. It will later, I think. 4. Once we start releasing some things that are stiff, that we don't even really realize that we've lived with this so long. Last one. All right. We are going to the upper back. So what we want to do is place this just below the shoulder blades. Place our hands behind our head and roll up above our shoulder blades. So we're basically going above and below the shoulder blades with this. And if you're not feeling comfortable with any of these exercises, just don't do them. For 4 and 3, some of them are kind of awkward. And 2, last time, up and back, and then just release your hips to the floor. All right, we're going to come to a kneeling position. So bring that roller in front of you. And if kneeling position doesn't work for you, you can bunch up your mat or bring a pillow over and kneel on your pillow, or again, just sit out this one. I'm going to take my roller overhead. I'm going to start by turning to the side. And we're just going to come back and then for the stretch and then come up. Use those quadriceps. Inhale and exhale. 4 and 3, 2, last one, and up. All right. Now we're really going to get into the lower body. So again, if you have those tight areas that cause you some pain, just back off from those. I'm going to come on my elbows and have that roller just above my knees, and then I'm rolling up to the top of the thighs and back down. You see, the first couple times I did this last night, I didn't know if I could even do it for class. Roll back and up. 4 and up. 3. It's still not comfortable, but it's doable. Last time. And down to your knees. All right, we're going to do the opposite side. So, we'll bring it under the legs. Up and sit on it. Have your hands, your fingers pointing forward. And we're just going to roll it down the thighs and back up to where the seat meets the thighs. This one doesn't bother me that much. I thought it would bother me more because hamstrings are notoriously understretched by people, but it's really not bad. The quads were bad. Last one. And a seat. Put your seat down. All right. We're going to get in to the glutes. So we're going to lift up and come on to the roller, still holding our weight with our hands. We have one foot down and the other foot's going to come across. Now what I like to do instead of hitting this straight on is I know where I have kind of an area in my glute that is bothersome, so I'm going to tilt off towards the side, but you can hit it straight on. 4 and 3 and 2. Last one. All right, so this is definitely not as nice as a massage, right? Same goals though as a massage. And if you have a foam roller, it's cheaper than a massage. Maybe if you're getting massages, maybe do it in between to really work out some kinks that need some special extra attention. All right, planting that other foot down. Come sit on the mat again. All right. I'm going to come down all the way on my spine. And I'm going to lift my hips and place my seat on it. I'm lifting, so you want to hold it with your hands on the ends. Lifting my feet up. I'm going to roll side to side. And again, adjust your position so you really hit those spots that are special. Special for you. That are individual to you. 4, 4, and side, 3. So you might like some of these exercises, like you feel it more effectively by some and not so much the others. Like those last two were both. Okay, so plant your feet, roll that roller away, and then sit down. Like I felt more from that last one than I did the previous one. So, just decide on those as well. Okay, this one is for the side of the hip and the side of the thigh. So we're going to start with the hip. So I've got my forearm down. That's my base. That's what's holding me up. And we're going to roll the foam roller till it's on our hip. So the top leg, my top leg is going over, crossing forward. And then if you can, lift that bottom leg. If not, it's okay to keep it on the floor. We're just going to roll that hip area. For 4 and 3, and maybe you don't do, I'm doing about 8 reps on each one. Maybe you don't do 8 reps today for those ouchy areas. Now I'm rolling it down just above my knee and rolling it up to my hip now. Side of the leg, which I really have some areas. I can feel my face is getting hot. Ooh, 3 and 2. Last one. Just bring your seat down. I'm going to do the other side. Ooh, unfortunately. All right. So we're going to have that roller back. Hip level. The top leg is in front. It's got the weight along with your elbow. You can lift that bottom leg. And we're rolling that hip. for 4. Oh, and our word for this week for the summer reading program is muscles. And sorry that if I've left that out, I know that I have before. Not used to doing that, but it's muscles this week. And if I ever forget, we'll put it in the notes with the video. That's kind of cheating, but if I forget, there's not another way to do it. For 4, 3, 2, and last one. Roll that up and place it under you. Then, all right. So now we're going to do a hip flexor release. We've got 2 exercises to go. So we're going to lay on the mat and then lift our hips. And we're going to bring one knee in and the other leg lengthens out. So the roller lifts us off and makes this a better stretch than if we're on the mat, right? Because of lifting off the mat. You can hold that upper knee or just let it. And we're relaxing and focusing the stretch right here in front of the thigh. Sometimes if you start exercise, like I know when I started Pilates years ago, all I could feel was my hip flexor. So it wasn't used to carrying that weight, moving the legs in the lengthened position. So it took a while. This is a nice stretch for that hip flexor. All right, we're just going to bring in both legs for final stretch. If you want to roll side to side, you can. All right, placing my feet down, lifting my hips up, rolling that roller under my legs. All right. Well, I wouldn't say I hope you enjoyed today's class because it's not all that enjoyable, but I think it is helpful. And instead of putting it back in my closet, I hope I keep my roller out. And so if you see me in the library, ask me, keep me accountable if I'm still doing my foam rolling. And if you want more resources on foam rolling, you can put that in our catalog. We've got some books, we've got some DVDs on foam rolling, and so we have those there, and you can always do this recording again if you're interested in just releasing those muscles again. So hopefully we'll see you next week. I plan to do another mat class for Pilates, just getting back on the mat, doing a simple Pilates class, and then I'm planning on doing another bar class we haven't done for a while. Something new, so it'll be different than the last time. So that'll be the next couple weeks, and hope to see you then. Thanks for joining me.